I would say don't lose focus of your faith, and
Mm,
don't put your career above your family or starting a family, because sometimes people were, and society has all these women and different things try to get them so career oriented, and they're starting families so late, and family is the most important thing. A career is not.
yeah.
And that relationship with God, and for me, I mean, faith. The guy who helped me start this business, he was a Christian. I mean, that's
Mm,
he saw my work ethic and different things, but then here I let that become an obsession, and which it almost destroyed my family. It almost cost me a divorce over all this. And
mm-hmm,
then I'm sitting here one day, I'm working, I built this empire, this ego driven, and then yet everybody hated me around me because all I
mm,
did was work, my
mm-hmm,
own family. And
yeah.
I'm like, just like, why'd I do all this?
Mm-hmm.
If I did all this to push everybody away, was it even worth it?
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone, to the Builders Bible Podcast. I am here with Gary Harvey, the president of MJH Fabrication. Gary, thanks so much for joining the show, man.
All right, it's nice to be here.
Awesome. Well, Gary, if you don't mind giving our audience a little bit of context. So, what is MJH Fabrication, and how did you get started in that industry?
Well, I got started in the industry right out of high school. Just started working in the construction industry, and over the years, started out as a helper, boilermaker, fitter, become a welder, become an inspector, project manager. Just come up through the ranks, and then I got a kind of wild hair, thinking that if I had the money, I could start my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2000, because at the time I was working for Burns and McDonald. It's a big engineering design firm,
Okay.
and I was their quality manager, and I was the one having to inspect fab shops and companies to for them to do work for us. And I was just noticing the poor quality, everything of these shops that I'm going to, and I'm like, I know I can do better than this myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so we was at my wife's Christmas party in 2006. She worked for a little oil field supply company, and that night I just happened to say, if I had the money to start my own business, I think I could make a go at it.
Mm.
He asked me what I did, and I told him, and then that was it. We talked about fishing, hunting. The rest of the evening, didn't think nothing about it. And then in March of '07, the owner of that company called me up and says, "Hey, you serious about starting your own
Wow.
fabrication shop?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Well, come on. I got me and two other partners. We're going to front you the money. Let's see what you can do."
Okay.
And then I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." 'Cause I had with Burns and McDonald, I had employee stock, I had health insurance. I was making 350,000 a year, so it was like
Right.
I was comfortable. And sometimes you got to risk good for better. Sometimes.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so I like, yeah, let's do it. And so in July of '07, we started up MJ&H Fabrication. That's where the M was Don Maples and Gary May, the J was Doug Johnson, and the H was me. And they gave me 10% ownership, and they each had 30%.
Wow.
But I set it up that in a way that eventually, because I wanted to own it myself. And so in doing so, when I set that in place, we started in July of '07. Well, in June of '08, I bought the other three guys out,
Wow. Okay.
and been going ever since. And really, that was kind of in June of '08 is right before that little crash hit. Was
Yeah,
in
of course,
September,
right?
and so
That's how
I
it
bought
always
them.
works.
Yeah, I bought them out, and I'm thinking, what in the world did I just do?
Yeah.
But I mean, God has blessed me through the whole thing. I mean, I've had some ups and downs, but He's always managed to come through, no matter how dark things have gotten for me.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's so cool. Maybe give our audience a little perspective as well. So how big is your company up to date now in terms of I don't know staff? How many staff you've got, or how much revenue you're doing? Just give our audience an idea of how big y'all are.
Well, we normally do anywhere from 10 million to 25 million a year
Okay.
in total sales.
Okay.
So it just, I mean, started out when I first started business, I was anticipating, because whenever I first started this in 2007, I was doing all the drawings, the design, I was fitting it, I was welding. It was just me. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Man.
and I was hoping to do about $200,000 worth of work in the first 6 months, and I ended up doing almost 800,000.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And and then so the next year I doubled that, and I
Okay.
started. I think in 2008 is when I hired my first employee, and we started out in a 5,000 square foot shop. Now I'm in a roughly a 60,000 square foot shop with uh, overhead cranes.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
we got like two plate rolls. We can roll 2.5 inch thick, 10 foot wide plate in house, and so and mainly what we focus on here is the oil and gas, but anything to do with piping and pressure vessels.
Hmm.
So anytime you drive by a refinery, all the stuff you see out there, we can build it.
Okay. Okay. Dude, that's so awesome. Wow. And how many employees do you have now?
Right now, we're probably at about 40. It's
Okay.
because ever since COVID, it's been a struggle, and then kind of recouping from COVID. And but yeah, now that this AI and stuff is taking off, we're getting into that sector as well too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also just realized we're wearing the same shirt. It's
No,
kind of funny. It's always my go-to, the Carhartt. Yeah, well, I'm excited to chat a little bit about AI as well. Was curious before that. So, what do you feel like within your business? What are a few things that are going well, and what are maybe one or two things that are bringing some significant challenges, if anything? I
what
guess.
what's going well is the AI boom, because it's just like the oil boom in like North Dakota and so forth.
Hmm.
So it's like this oil boom that's taken off. It's I call it oil boom, but it's a tech boom, or however you want to pronounce it. But
Yeah. Hmm.
it's so with that, it's going really well. That's keeping things going. Uh, what's not going well is, so I did a job a few years back, and I ended
Hmm.
up losing about 3.5 million,
Okay.
and then had some other issues, and through that process, and then COVID hit, and everything just coming on top of each other. So I'm basically climbing out of a hole right now. So it's a slow climb, but it's just when I think, and I mean, part of it, and that's something that we could chat about, but part of it,
Hmm.
through this whole time, once I started this business, I put business above my family. I put business above everything. I put work.
Mm.
And I think God needed to bring me back down, to humble me to
Hmm.
that this is not the most important thing in my life.
Hmm. Yeah. It's such a beautiful realization. I feel like sometimes with men in particular, I've felt that with my career. It's so easy to idolize that and kind of make that your number one thing.
Yeah, it's all ego driven. Like, look at what I've
Yeah.
done with this, and
Hmm.
and I was always, want to do that next big project, or just to show, look what we built. Look, I mean, we built a reboiler that went 650 feet underground.
Oh my
We
gosh.
We built a burn chamber that shipped to Louisiana, 23.5 foot diameter, 108 foot long, weighed 436,000 pounds.
Oh my goodness. How do you
You
even
know,
ship something like that?
well, we had to custom build the trailer just to ship it.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's
it's,
unbelievable.
and so there again, that's where that ego driven stuff comes
Hmm.
in, just like anything else. And
Hmm.
looking back, because to me, it used to be sports for me, but then when sports went away, you know,
Hmm.
something else had to drive me.
Replace your
And
identity, sort of.
yeah, because now that
Hmm.
I'm not in sports, what else? And there again, me searching for value from others and not value from Christ.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
That's
so
so
that's
good.
I've had a big humbling through this whole experience with the downturn and things going
Hmm.
on.
Yeah. It's encouraging to see you respond that way because I know you see it time and time again with successful business owners. Like they have a down year. It's, a lot of them even take their own life.
Yeah.
So it's encouraging to see your heart responding that way. Um, so with the AI stuff, it sounds like y'all are looking into a little bit. Are you guys currently using AI within your business now?
I mean, I use it little stuff here and there to help
Okay.
scan stuff and or contracts or different things. So yeah, it's it's pretty handy.
Take that if you need. We're casual here, so
No,
don't
you're
worry
good.
about it. Yeah, that makes sense. Like Chat GPT, and there's some tools. Let me ask you this. So this is an interesting question I ask every guest. If you could wave a magic wand within your day to day or within your business, and AI could solve something, what would that thing be for you, or maybe a few things within your business?
Hmm. I would say for me, because the construction side of things is pretty good, it would just be back here in the office as far as AI streamlining the paperwork documentation, maybe even streamline proposals and different things, and
Mm,
just try to help on the administrative end of things of trying to you know not recreate the wheel every
hmm.
time we get a new job. That if AI could, you know, just like the contracts, different things, just stuff like that.
Hmm. Contracts, proposals. Yeah, that's interesting. We've kind of heard that feedback a lot from the construction world. It's interesting to see a lot of construction guys by nature seem like they're low tech, and so it'll be interesting to kind of see how AI gets incorporated because I think it can help so much within the construction world. It's just a matter of people being able to adapt, which I think
Right.
is sometimes the challenge. Yeah, that's awesome. So with these proposals and contracts, I mean, what is like an average proposal look like in terms of time? I guess would you say how long does it take to write up a proposal?
Uh, well, see, so to start the whole process when we get a job to bid, it would be so much because sometimes, depending on the customer, like if it's ExxonMobil, Phillips,
Hmm.
One Oak, Chevron, I mean, they have so many specs that you have to go through. So if you could
I
use AI
see.
to scan through the specs
Hmm.
and, try to teach it the pertinent information that needs to be captured.
Hmm.
And then of course, once you capture all that, you got to make sure that, like, say, I'm bidding a tower for a refinery.
Hmm.
So in my proposal, I got to list all their specs, what I'm bidding it to, that I conform to their specs. And then if there's key things that I take exceptions to or what, I got to be able to note that. And then normally that's all done, you know, by by a person. It just
Yeah.
takes. So I mean, one bid could take you a week to bid.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
going through everything. So if you could scan all that in, and let AI review a lot of that and spit out the perfect information I mean, that would be huge to where if I could take that week and bring it down to a day or two, that would be huge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll chat after for a second. I've got a thought for you. That's so interesting. Yeah, it's AI is. It seems like just even by the day, it's getting better and better. So it's kind of cool to see. Well, you've obviously brought up your faith a few times. So I'm a Christian myself. Andrew, my other partner here, he's a Christian as well. Maybe talk a little bit about, I think one of the things right now, specifically for men in our culture, is just a lot of young guys don't feel like they have a lot of direction. Do I go to college? Do I, get into a trade or blue collar work? What would be maybe some advice you would give? I don't know if you have a son or, just a young man that's kind of looking for career advice. Where would you tell him to kind of start?
Well, for me, through my years of experience, because I've welded along next to guys who
Hmm.
they would weld during the summer and they would pay for their college just working through the summer welding.
Yeah, that's so smart.
So welding is a huge,
I'm going to write this down for my son.
yeah, because if you learn welding, I mean, not now, some of these kids, they go to school, they think just because they can pass a weld test, they think they got all the experience.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily work that way. But, and there again, welding is a certain talent. Some people pick it up faster than others. So it all depends on the person. But you could make anywhere from, you know, depending on what your location, what town you're in, and anywhere from 16 to 65 an hour, you know, and depending on what level and what caliber of welder you could become. Like, like I know one guy, he was welding, he was a good welder, and he put himself through college. Now, then he got on to some construction companies, and now he owns his own car lots and stuff.
Wow.
I mean, and welding got him through all that.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool too because if you are doing if you're welding and then also using that to pay for college, you kind of have, I don't want to say a backup plan, but you sort of have a backup plan in
Yeah,
case you decide school's not for you.
right.
Because I think one of the challenges, and I even felt this, I mean, I'm, 10 years out of college now, but you start to go and then you start to realize, well, do I even want to do this? And then it kind of gets to the point where it's like, well, I'm so far into it, I don't really have a backup plan. So I guess I just got to finish it. But then you get out and you end up with a job that you don't even need a degree for to begin with. And it's
Hmm.
like, well, so, there's other values that college offers. But I do think blue collar work in general is going to start to see a big uptick, specifically with men. I'm hopeful at least. Because I think with a lot of these AI and tech jobs, I just don't know if a lot of young men are wired to sit behind a computer all day. So we'll see. That'll be really interesting. Um, let's see here.
Well, I do know welding, like you said, it's a trade that you can always fall back on.
Hmm.
I've even seen guys who started their own business, lost their business, and go back to welding.
Wow. Okay.
And then I've even known one guy who started a business, lost his business, went back to welding, and then started another business. So, I mean,
Okay.
welding, in my opinion, because no matter what field you're in, whether it's refinery, food processing, electrical, you need welders everywhere. Commercial buildings, it's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
Well,
I
and
remember, I think CWI stated that I forget how many thousands of welders were going to be short in the U.S. that
hmm.
were already short.
Right. Yeah. You can't teach an AI to do that, at least
No.
not yet. Unless these robots get pretty good, but
Mhm.
I think that's still a ways out. This has been awesome, man. We really appreciate it. Maybe kind of last thing here. Anything else that are interested, you want to talk about. Could be sports related with the Astros. It could be faith related. Piece of advice you want to leave. Any kind of final thoughts?
I would say don't lose focus of your faith, and don't put your career above your family or starting a family.
Writing all this down.
Because sometimes people were, and society has all these women and different things try to get them so career oriented, and they're starting families so late, and family's the most important thing. A career is not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that relationship with God, and for me, faith, the guy who helped me start this business, he was a Christian. That's, he saw my work ethic and different things, but then, here I let that become an obsession, and which it almost destroyed my family. It almost cost me a divorce.
Yeah.
Over all this. And then I'm sitting here one day, I'm working, I built this empire, this ego driven. And then yet everybody hated me around me because all I did was work, my own family. And I'm like, just like, why'd I do all this? If I did all this to push everybody away, was it even worth it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so with that, definitely now, and even though this AI, I used to answer my phone no matter what. It could be Christmas, it could be a kid's birthday, and if I had to leave, I had to leave. And that does not happen anymore.
Yeah. That's so good.
There's barriers that I put in place that it will not happen. And I try to impress that into my employees as well too, that here family comes first, not.
Absolutely. It makes me think of what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?
Amen. 100%.
Yeah. Powerful verse. Well, Gary, maybe hang on for a couple more minutes after this. We'll chat for just a second. But, man, really appreciate you coming on. It's kind of fun. I always ask each guest the same question at the end, and I write down what each person says. So I've got a nice little catalog of gold nuggets from all you construction ballers. So I appreciate it, man. So thanks so much for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks for having me.